life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that great big subscribe button right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon so you get notified every time I go live right now or post a new video. So in today's video, I want to discuss something I wasn't sure if I wanted to talk about or not, because I just want to move on with my life. But I think it's an important point to make if you're doing asexual dating or relationships. So as you know, I was online dating a guy, an asexual guy, who turned out to not be nice to me, who's been stalking me, and consequently his mother decided to try and get involved and get me to talk to him, which it's not my responsibility to change someone. If they want to change, they've got to change themselves. They were horrible to me, horrible to my friend and friends. They were, and they've been doing a campaign of stalking, so it's not good, right? So I don't want to carry on talking about it all the time because I'd rather just move on with my life as much as possible now. But before I split up from dating them, before they became not nice at all, in what they talked about my weight and me not being, me being too strict with my boundaries and stuff, and then laughing at my expense, threatening to unfriend me and all that lot, right? So before that, when we were getting on, I spoke to them on video chat the previous week, and they sent me a postcard. They said they were sending it was going to take at least 7 days to get to me. And so by the time I received the postcard, literally I blocked this person from my life. And so it's really difficult reading the words. And this is a postcard. It's a really nice postcard, sadly. So it's from the area where they live in Tunisia, and it's a 3D postcard, and it is really nice with beautiful flowers and stuff, right? But the thing I really want to say is, in dating relationships, both people's actions and words have to be congruent, which means they have to be consistent. They have to add up. They have to be the same in order for that person to be trustworthy, reliable, mean what they say, and be honest, And so if someone's words and actions don't match up, then likely there's something severely wrong. It's a red flag, big red flag, right? So some people may say actions talk louder than words, right? But you have to have them both. You have to have them both, and this is so important. This is what people don't focus on. You need the words and the actions to both match up. So you need both, not just actions, right? Because someone could act like they love you, but actually not. If their words are not good, but yet they're saying they love you in other ways, it's not good. So, so basically in dating relationships, like if someone says I love you, they need to be able to show that, prove it in effect, show it through their actions, the way they behave towards you, like taking care of your health in a good way, not an obsessive, like telling you what to do way. Like, so if you're out together, making sure you've got food to eat, that type of thing. If you've got special dietary requirements, like I have special dietary requirements, making sure that they spend quality time with you, but you still see your friends. Making sure that, they talk to you, they say they love you, and they make you feel special and wonderful, and they don't like make you happy and tell you lots of nice stuff, then literally slam you down. Right? So if someone really loves you, they'll want to take care of you. They'll want you to have the best life possible. If someone really loves you, they will want what's best for you. They will speak to you in a nice way. They will speak to you respectfully. They'll respect your boundaries. They'll be considerate of your feelings. They'll appreciate you. They'll want you in their life. They'll do whatever they can to make you happy. and that will be genuine, right? This is if someone loves you, right? A healthy love, right? They will still keep their own friends, they still have their own life, but you know, they'll fit you into their life, right? This is healthy love, right? But the thing is some people love unhealthily, yeah, and some people don't really love at all. Some people don't even understand the meaning of the word love, right? So when a person's words don't line up with their actions, that's equally as bad as the actions not line up with their words. So you've got to have actions and words to be congruent. So when the guy I was dating sent me this postcard before I split with him from dating, and I didn't receive it till afterwards, which is obviously quite upsetting for me. People need to understand that when someone says actions speak louder than words, like the action here would show that this person loves me, and the words on the postcard would, but their further actions don't. Their further actions are not congruent with what's on this card, which means that to me, then, you know, you don't really love me, not properly, toxically, but not healthily, you know. And so, you know, and if you love someone, you don't criticize them, you don't put them down, you respect them, you know. That's a healthy love, right? So this person's actions, they took the postcard, looked really good, as in the words in them, but still it wasn't good because their follow-up actions, or the actions they took in the meantime, were not good, as in the stuff they said to me and were threatening to do to me, right? So this is a postcard, and it is really upsetting, because obviously if this person was a nice person towards me and my friends, and a good person, and had my best interests at heart, and cared about me and loved me, and, you know, didn't try to control me or belittle me or all that type of thing, you know, and really actually wanted to be with me, you know, not keep me waiting for years. You know, anyway, so this was really hard when I got this. So it says, to my soulmate Sandra with 2 kisses. I feel like my life started on that day when we made the video call. I love you so much. I wish we can be together one day. I adore you to the moon and back. Kiss, kiss. Eternal love, from that person's name with a kiss. And so I can't show you my address, but I can just flick it around to show you that I'm telling the truth, right? So yeah, so when I read that, obviously it's really upsetting, because if a person did actually mean those words, this would be a beautiful card, you know, and it would have been so lovely. You know, and it's really hard when you love someone to let them go, but you have to, right? You have to. Asexualise, my asexual life, thinks it's acceptable to refer to people. Oh, for goodness sake. So yeah, it's really important that, you know, you understand that, you know, that it's not good for someone to be like that, you know, and it's really difficult. But obviously if you've got someone who's behaving badly towards you, then you need to cut them from your life. So when you're doing dating and relationships, you need to actually understand that both the words and the actions need to be congruent. And if someone's saying really loving words to you 1 minute and then not very nice stuff to you next, then obviously they're not being entirely truthful, and they're not caring enough about you, and they're not respecting you, you know. You've always got to understand that one person's opinion about you isn't fact, it's their opinion, right? And why should you value another person's opinion of yourself over you? over your own opinion. You shouldn't, right? No one makes someone else God and tell someone, yeah, you can go and tell that person what to do. That person has the freedom and right to be who they are, to eat what they want, to wear what they like, to choose to live their own life. So you shouldn't be dictated to by anyone. You shouldn't have anyone telling you what to do and how you live your life. You know, if a person doesn't want to be with you for who you are, then they shouldn't be with you. You know? It's like when someone tries to force their opinion on you. You know? What are they getting out of the force? You know what I mean? It's like control, domination, having to be right. You know what I mean? So it's really important that you understand that if you have gone through a situation where someone is putting you down or belittling you and telling you what you should or shouldn't be, that you actually, go from this person's life and go and live your own life, your authentic life, and be happy, right? Because no one has the right to dictate to someone who they are, what they are, and how they should live their life, right? So, like sometimes in life we get into a relationship or dating scenario and we do give people the benefit of the doubt. We might forgive them for certain things and wait to see if they change or if they keep hurting us. But when it gets to the stage where they've said sorry and they still continue that behavior, or they do another behavior similar or say something else that's not good, then we need to leave that relationship or dating scenario, because it's not healthy for us, right? And so it's very important that you understand that you have the right to be you. You have the right to live your own life. And if someone doesn't like that, then they don't need to be in your life. They don't have to choose you, just like you don't have to choose them. And, if someone doesn't love you for who you are, then they're likely not going to be the right person for you, because you can't be with someone who doesn't love you entirely. They might not like everything about you, but they should love you as you are, And so, yeah, sometimes you have to just let someone go from your life because it's for your own good and for their own good, right? Because no good can come of two people who have different opinions of themselves and views of themselves, and no good is going to come from a relationship where that person is literally picking on you and picking things out that would be horrible to you, belittling you or putting you down and that type of thing. So it's not healthy, right? It's not healthy love. It doesn't mean to say this person's completely bad in every way. It doesn't mean to say they haven't got any good things about them at all. But what it means to say is you can't be with that type of person. And so if someone writes lovely words to you, I've been in the past with abusive guys who have written really loving words. How in the past, my ex, for example, of 8.5 years, he used to write my soulmate on a lot of my gift tags and baby girl and all this type of stuff. So he used to write really nice words, but his actions were not congruent with his words, because he would say stuff like that and then his actions about, when he was being aggressive towards me and shouting at me and swearing at me and all that type of thing, showed that he didn't really love me, or if he did, it was a toxic type. So, you've really got to understand that you need to get away from these type of people and, live your own best life. It's not healthy for you to be in a relationship or scenario with this type of person, however much you love them and care about them. And the best lesson you can give them in life is to leave their life, because if they're not treating you well, people don't change that much and they don't change that quickly. If they do change and make major changes, normally to make major change, you're like doing lots of little changes over a number of years. and therefore to make a big difference, it kind of accumulates. But, you know, if you look at the words on the postcard, it sounds like the guy really loves me, really caring, loving guy. But then if you heard the person, what they said to me in video chat and threatened to unfriend me, then kind of like you would think that's not good. I'm not saying everything he said in video chat was bad. You know, we watched some music together and stuff like that and chatted. But, you know, like when a person's talking about weight and stuff like that, it's just not nice. And to slim down to be with them, it's just disgusting, you know. And then they said sorry and asked me to basically forgive them for that. And then they started saying about being too strict with boundaries. And then obviously threatened to unfriend me. So, you know, you can't keep being with someone who says sorry for something but clearly isn't, you know. They just carry on then upsetting you and saying other stuff that's not nice, you know. And it's like, you know, it seems sorry's really important to say in a relationship or dating scenario. It's really important to say sorry, admit you're wrong or need to change. But if you just keep saying sorry but don't really make fundamental core changes, then you're not really changing, you know. And so it's really important that you understand that in order for change to happen, you have to walk away sometimes from that person. It's the best thing you can do for them because they're never going to learn else. And I don't recommend going back to an ex. Once you've left, I think you should always just move on, and they're your ex for a reason, right? And, you know, if you go back to someone who's treated you badly, you're like accepting that bad behavior, and so they think they can get away with it and carry on doing it, you know. And it's, you know, there's thousands of other people in the world for you, so you don't need to accept bad behavior. You don't need to stay with someone who's not good for you long term or even short term. You know, you don't need to do that. So it is upsetting if someone says loving words to you but then through their actions they don't show it. But like I said, the action with the postcard is they wrote the words, but the action was to send the postcard with the words. But even, you know, because if one way of demonstrating you love someone is if you write loving messages, a message to someone, and you do pop it in the post, you've taken that time and to write it out personally, you've taken the trouble to go to the post office and buy the stamp. You know, that's a really kind, caring thing to do, right? But if they say all that stuff and then they put you down and do other things that aren't nice, then it, you know, it counteracts that and means that overall it's no good for you to be with that person. And in this case, both the words and action of those words, they are congruent in the time, but they're not actually congruent with the following, with the other things they said after they put that in the post, you know. So you have to look for congruency, consistency, and persistency in a relationship scenario. Like, if a guy says, for example, I want to get to know you, then they make no effort to arrange to video call you, text you, or do anything like that, then you know that it's not really true. If someone says they think you're beautiful, but they're criticizing your looks, then obviously it's not true, right? If someone says they respect you, but then they're not, maybe if you dated people your own age, oh, for God's sake, don't be so ridiculous. So I'm not blaming pensioner age, it's a joke. So there's some people being really horrible to me in comments saying maybe if I dated someone of my own age, pensioner age. My parents are pensioner age. They're like much older than me, like decades older than me. Honestly, so ridiculous. It's got nothing to do, age has got nothing to do with it. People shouldn't be treating people badly regardless of age gaps. There's plenty of people in age gap love relationships. You know, you don't go around being abusive no matter what the age gap is. It's ridiculous. I've never heard so much nonsense in all my life, right? So honestly, I don't, you know, like, my God, jeez. So yes, you know, so you know, it doesn't matter what age gap you are, there's no excuse for abuse. If you think that just because there's an age gap there's an excuse for abuse, and I'm frigging not even middle-aged, mate, whoever that was that said it. I'm not even middle-aged, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. There are plenty of loving relationships with age gap. I have entrepreneur friends, and he is 21 and his partner is 41. It's 20 years difference, and they got a really thriving business together, beautiful house, lovely dog, you know. So yeah, much, 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 really good life, you know. So there's no excuse for abuse. It doesn't, you know, and the person who wrote that is abusive in and of themselves. Saying maybe date at pension age, it's like pension age isn't my age. I hate, you know what I mean? If I date at pension age, it'd be disgusting. For me, because I don't like older guys. But yeah, so yeah, there's quite a few people with opinions. But yes, if you think it's fine to abuse anyone, then you need to look in the mirror, because it's disgusting, and there's no excuse for abuse, no matter what the age gap is, no matter what the background is, no matter what the status is. You know, there's absolutely no excuse for abuse whatsoever. And anyone who thinks it's okay to be abusive is disgusting, right? Disgusting. If someone says they love you, no matter what age they are, in legal age they are, then, you know, that's on them. If they're abusive and they're younger or older than you, that's on them. There's no need to tolerate abuse in any relationship, whatever the age gap. It makes no difference, you know. And there's abusive guys my age, birth certificate age. I dated a guy who was older than me in birth certificate age, and he was a complete psychopath. I mean, literally a psychopath with a blade on him. You know, so age has got absolutely nothing to do with it. It's to do with the person, you know. And there's a lot of loving people. I know people in age gap relationships, and like I said, they're very, very happy. So, oh, Google's deleted your message. Yes, obviously, because it was very abusive towards me, so they automatically delete stuff. Thank you, Google. Love you. So yeah, you know, it's really important to understand that I'm getting some abuse tonight as well, and I don't deserve it. Thanks very much. You know, so it doesn't matter what age the person is. Like, clearly they love me in that postcard. You know, they did that of their own free will, and their mum actually approves of me, just that I don't want to go back to someone who's abusive, right? So his mum wants me to be in a relationship with him. His mum wants me to, you know, knowing there's an age gap. But you know, it's not right for me to do that, because I won't go back to someone who's abusive towards my friend. Like, if you saw the video telling her, "Fuck you, you ugly cow," she's younger than me. You know, it's disgusting, and no one deserves abuse. And anyone who's watching this channel who thinks that's on because of any age gap is just like abusive themselves, you know. So go and do one, you know, go away. And so, you know, it's really, really not good. So yeah, so always know that it's not okay for people to abuse you, and it especially doesn't matter about the age gap, right? And this is something, you know, like, if you think that an age gap is a reason for abuse, it's absolutely not. There is absolutely no excuse under any circumstances for people to be emotionally abusive, emotionally manipulative, for people to put people down and belittle people. There's absolutely no excuse for that whatsoever. No excuse. I'm absolutely shocked that anyone thinks there is, right? There's lots of men who are in relationships with younger girls, right? That doesn't give them the right to abuse them because they're older than the younger girls. Same as it doesn't give the right of the younger person to abuse the older person. You know? What's really annoying is, because I'm an older girl into younger guys, like, society still sees it as something wrong. It's very much not wrong, you know? If your older guys can be with younger girls, same as older girls can be with younger guys. You know, we're living in the 21st century, for God's sake. You know what I mean? And I'm not just gonna like guys my own birth certificate age because you think I should, you know, your opinion of me is your opinion. It's not my opinion. You know, at the end of the day, no one has the right to treat someone badly. No one should have to put up with someone stalking them. No one should have to put up with someone, you know, that's belittled them and been rude to them and, you know, not nice. And abuse can happen in any age, right? The guys I was with in the past, the abuse I had, one guy I was in a long-term relationship with, he's 1 year older than me, was abusive. The other guy, the guy of 8.5 years, only 3.5 years age gap, you know? So both were abusive. One was, like I said, just 1 year older than me. So it doesn't matter what age they are, you know? Abuse is abuse. And I'm absolutely shocked there's people coming on this channel thinking that anyone who is a different age deserves abuse. No one deserves abuse. You should be ashamed of yourself coming on this channel saying stuff like that. Go and take a look in the mirror. It's disgusting, you know? So you know, so yeah, so you know, it doesn't matter what age it is. You no one has to put up with abuse. And, you know, and I'm just shocked at how many people think it's fine. And yeah, I don't want to date people my own age, thanks very much. I'm not interested in them. So thanks a lot. You know, it's like, why do you think you have the right to tell someone how to live their life? It's just beyond me. You know, but no one has the right to tell someone how to live their life. And, you know, it's perfectly fine. Sparky, what's going on? How's all? Unfortunately, I've got loads of people trolling my channel tonight and saying horrible stuff about me. So yeah, they think that I should be dating someone my own age because, like, they have control of my life and like to tell me what to do. There's a lot of control freaks on tonight's show. But yes, so you know, it's not very good at all. But there you go. They like to tell me what to do, some people. But you know, if it's to do with the person who controls me, then they're gonna want to say stuff like that because they're also gonna want to control me. But, you know, control is disgusting. I won't be controlled by anyone or told what to do by anyone. There's lots of successful age gap love relationships, tons of them, and there's also ones that don't work out. So it's got nothing, you know, like there's no reason for abuse or you know, people to be horrible to people, you know? No one deserves it. No one, I don't deserve what this person has been like. And you know, I deserve much better than that, you know? And I don't know why people are even saying stuff that's negative. I presume it's because they are trolling me, you know, just to be horrible for something. They got nothing better to do in their life, basically. Okay, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's sad, but it's definitely not okay to have abuse in whatever type of relationship it is, whatever age gap it is. And there's no need for people to try and control people and be horrible to people, you know? I will still be interested in younger guys because I am interested in younger guys, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that, you know? There's people who are much older than me that date much younger guys. The age gap is much bigger. Than, you know, like I had a friend who was 59 dating a 23-year-old. So yeah, you know, it is fine, but what's not fine is abuse, you know, of any way, shape or form. You know, it's not good. And I'm just quite shocked at how many people are being that way. Anyway, to get back to tonight's stream, we've got to make sure that people's words and their actions line up and they're congruent when you're dating or doing relationships. And if they're not congruent, then obviously it means they're not being honest and they're not being truthful. and yeah, it just means that they are, not being good. And so the best thing you can do is just go from that person's life, wish them the best, and hope they get the help they need to move forward in their life, and keep yourself separate from them as much as possible, and let them get on with their life and you get on with yours. But I thought it was important to do this video because there's a lot of people that just rely on actions without the words, or vice versa. You've got to have both being congruent, so that they match up, and then you can live a much more peaceful, happier life, and be safe in the knowledge that if their actions and words match up, then they're likely telling the truth. But this has got to be over a long period of time, because people can still change. They've got to be persistent and consistent over a long period of time. So because I've known some people to change like in 11 months, best part of a year, and they still change. One of my friends, were friends, we've lost in touch now. Her husband became abusive. Her husband became abusive after 2 years, of being fine. So, sometimes there's no rhyme or reason for it. As in, if the person's been fine for 2 years, you wouldn't know they were going to be like that, right? So it takes you by surprise, right? But you have to understand that some people you're just not meant to be with, however much you care about them. And the best thing you can do is just walk away for your own safety and sanity, and just realize that you're better off without each other, because they need to learn to treat people better, or to treat the person better. And you need to go and just love yourself and be happier with yourself, right? And there's absolutely nothing wrong with being single and living your own life and being happy with it. It's much better. And, you should definitely go and do that, right? Because, there's no point in staying with someone who's not going to treat you well in the end, because it's not fair to you. You deserve better, and you deserve the best, and a supportive and healthy relationship as much as possible. And it's sometimes difficult decisions you have to make in your life, but it's also for the best. So it's really important to do that, and live your best life, basically, and be really, really happy with it, and people might put you down or be rude to you, but at the end of the day, they're the ones with the problem, not you. You just have to walk away with your head held high and know that you've done the best you can at the time, and that that you had the self-love enough to walk away and to be happy, because at the end of the day, happiness is the most important thing, and life is too short to stay with the wrong person or people in your life. So you just need to go away and be by yourself, or get someone later on who's going to be a much better fit for you, right? So never forget how beautiful and special you are, and whatever age, shape, size, you're so gorgeous, and just be yourself, right? So just really be yourself, so I want to say lots of love to you, and if you are experiencing difficulties now, I understand what you're going through, and and just know that you're amazing just as you are. And if things do get out of hand and you are being stalked or people are being abusive, you can obviously report it to the police, and if it carries on, I would definitely report it to the police, If you can't be yourself in a relationship, what's the point? Exactly, Sparky. If you can't be in a relationship, be yourself in a relationship, what is the point? Right? If someone gets into a relationship with an older or younger person, they know full well what they're doing and they go knowing that, you know? And if you can't be yourself, what is the point? And if you can't go and find someone who you're attracted to in the age group you choose for yourself, then, you know, what's the point? You shouldn't be dictated to by anyone in your life, you know? And, you know, you should just make decisions for yourself and get the best relationship for you and, you know, get the best person for you, right? Like I said, I've known so many, you know, I know so many people that do have successful age gap relationships, and you know, it's really good. So yeah, and like I said as well, it doesn't matter what age you are. There's no excuse for abuse, no excuse by the younger or the older person, you know. And so it's really important that you know that. And we're like, yeah, like you said, Sparky, what is the point in getting into a relationship when you can't be yourself? You know, and as long as you're happy together, no one else's opinion matters. Exactly. As long as you're happy together, no one else's opinion does matter. You know? And I don't go around saying this person was bad in the end because of their age, because I could say, oh, they're younger, but I don't say that because there's a lot of younger people that aren't abusive and that are nice and kind and caring. Do you know what I mean? There's lots of them, you know. Just because one person isn't good doesn't mean to say that all the rest of the young people aren't good. Do you know what I mean? You know, so a lot of my friends are younger, you know, and I get on really well with people who are in their 20s, you know, so yeah, and their 30s as well. I get on well. I have got some friends that are in their 30s, but I've got more in common usually with my 20-year-old friends. You know, you know, it's just really important that you know that you can be who you want, live your own life, do what you want, and like you say, no one else's opinions matter. You know, it's just their opinion. I'm not going to live my life by someone else's opinion, and someone else's rules. You know what I mean? Like that would just be ludicrous. You know, like I'll do what I want when I want. I'm not going to be dictated to by anyone else. And other people's opinions of me don't matter more than my own opinion. And my opinion is like, yeah, go for it. You're a good looking girl, you know, young guys like you get on well with young guys, you've got tons in common with them, live the same sort of life. Now, I was out clubbing last night longer than all the people in their 20s and 30s were yesterday, you know? So I was like clubbing for 5.5 hours, whereas most of them, I think they'd all gone home by like, I don't know, half one or something like that, I don't know. But they went home. Oh, I think one of the girls that I met, she's a uni student. So she was, I think, there till 2:30. I was there till 4:30. So yeah. So yeah. But whereas guys anywhere near my birth certificate age, they're not into clubbing. They're not really into the same sort of movies I'm into. They're not into the same sort of music that I'm into. Do you know what I mean? I've just got not much in common with them, to be honest, at all. Because, my birth certificate age is nothing like who I am. So I don't care for it, even though other people seem pedantic about it tonight in message. I don't care about it at all. It means nothing to me. So, but like I said, if you're being harassed and you're having abuse, do report it to police. Enjoy yourself, have fun. Who cares as long as you enjoy yourself? Exactly. Who cares? What business is it of other people's? It's absolutely none of other people's business. No one else's opinions matter. It's up to you how you live your life. It's no one else's business. I often find that a lot of women get really jealous because they're like, oh, I can't get a younger guy and she can, so let them carry on being silly. But yeah, like you said, Sparky, it's if they don't love the person for who they are, there's no point in being with them. And and there's no point in me trying to get into a relationship with an older guy when I'm just not interested, just because other people decide they want to dictate and tell me what to do with my life, which seems to be the case tonight. It's like, what else are you going to come up with? Come up with some more stuff, so it's like whatever. But it just goes to show you that people, clearly, if they think abuse is fine in any scenario, emotional abuse, emotional manipulation or control, if they think that type of thing's fine in any age gap, or they think it's okay to blame a person because of their age, that, oh, you brought it on yourself because you're a certain age. Like, no, that's really abusive in and of itself, no one has the right to abuse another person, no matter what the age gap is between the person or what background you come from or anything like that. It's just not good. So if you are in a situation, where this stuff is happening, then do get yourself out of it. And, if you need to report it to police, do, because if things carry on with me, then eventually I'll go to the police anyway. So, but hopefully the stalking will stop and people will just stop being nasty and get on with other parts of their life. If they're busy bothering me in my life, it means they haven't got much going on in their own, doesn't it, really? You know. So, and I've been to police in the past about stuff, so they're really helpful. You know. So, if it comes to it, then I will take further action. So hopefully these people just leave me alone. What's happening, stalking? Yeah, the guy that I was online dating who's asexual, he was being really nasty to one of my friends. I did a video about it where so basically I stopped dating him because he was saying things to me that weren't nice, such as about I'll have to slim down if I want to be in a relationship with him. But he was already saying to people I was in a relationship with him. And such as he was saying, don't be so strict with my boundaries and standards, right? And then at the end of the day, we went off and he wanted, I was getting him links to help him come legitimately to the UK, which is really nice of me. I spent like an hour doing that. And then at the end of the day, when I got him all these links, he said he was like going to sort his friends out because he got like loads of people that he'd friended like all around the globe from his work and stuff, which some of them were legitimate friends and others like were customers of his, which was really weird. Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? So anyway, to cut a long story short, he said he was going to sort his friends list out because, I said to him several times throughout the date that he's not the type of guy that I think would be suitable for a relationship with me. And this is why, because we're too different. We want different things and we're two different people. And personally, I want a guy who doesn't just add random people to his friends list. So he said he was going to sort that out. I didn't ask him to, I'm perfectly happy if a person's the way they are to just leave their life and go on my own merry way. But anyway, so in the end, he threatened to unfriend me and was laughing about it. So then I said, that's fine. We'll end things then. No problem. First of all, I asked, why would he be unfriending me? They said it was a joke. Obviously, it's not a funny joke. And then I just said, well, that's okay. We'll end things then. And he didn't want me to. He sounds unstable. He is unstable. And clearly these people that are in chat know him. And fake profiles as well. So if it carries on, I should just go to police for harassment, and I'll be given all the evidence I've got. And believe me, I've got a lot. So, and people will be accomplices if they're helping him, so yeah. So basically, then he, so I ended it and he didn't want me to end it, but I ended it and blocked him out of my life. And then he was not happy I mentioned some stuff on my channel, which I have freedom of speech, and I didn't mention his name, and everything I said I didn't reveal much personal stuff anyway. I just said how I felt and the things I've told you, and they were all true, which I have proof of in the video about the fact he'd been stalking me, because he said that I was saying lies and untruths about him, which I wasn't. And I've got all the proof. And I did the video to show what had actually happened. And sadly he isn't stable, I even had his mum messaging me telling me that he got previous issues. I wasn't going to say that on this channel, but seen as people are coming in who clearly know him, saying stuff about me. I've even had his mum message me loads of stuff about him, saying he'd already got mental health problems before he dated me, and they don't know what to do with him. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's not my fault. His behaviour's like that. I'm not responsible for his behaviour, and he has no right to treat me like that just because, if there's an age gap or whatever, and it was me who ended it. He didn't want to end it. He wanted me to still be with him. He still wants me to be with him now. Well, that's what he said. Obviously, with all these people trolling me, yeah, it's not healthy, Sparky. No, not healthy at all. But at the end of my stalker video, I wished him the best of luck with everything, and I thought that was going to be the end of it. But no, I had his mum coming in, spending hours trying to convince me that I needed to help him get better and to change and be a good person, basically. Please make sure you're safe. Yeah, exactly. The police can get hold of files and stuff, and if it carries on, then I will go to the police, because I'm getting a bit fed up with it now, and they'll be looking for all the Google and YouTube people as well if they carry on, because I don't deserve to be harassed or stalked, and clearly these people know him because they're trying to say stuff on purpose to offend me, so at the end of the day they better stop doing it. I don't know who your ex is, just find it creepy I don't prey on younger guys, thanks very much. The guy is 25 years old. It's not like he doesn't know what he's doing, so I don't prey on people at all. It's disgusting and very, 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 very rude. Very rude. Just because you don't like the fact I like younger guys is your opinion. I don't prey on younger guys at all. Don't do that at all, thanks very much. He's 25 years old. He's not a child. You know what I mean? God's sake. In the UK, legal age for sex is 16. I'm not even interested in sex. I don't prey on people. If he's 25, he knows what he's doing. Exactly. He knows what he's doing. He's 25 years old. It's not like he's a baby, for God's sake. Do you know what I mean? It's like ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He's 25 years old. That's more than old enough to know his own mind and to know what he's doing. You know what I mean? He's perfectly capable of knowing his own brain. You know what I mean? It's not like he's a child. So, I like guys in their 20s and upwards, not people who are underage. So it's just ridiculous. I don't prey on anyone. I don't need to prey on anyone. I never would do that. So this person's just being ridiculous. There's a lot of younger women that like older guys, and there's a lot of older women that like younger guys. It's just the way it is in life, Absolutely the way it is in life. And, it's just like, it's perfectly acceptable for people to have age gap love. Perfectly acceptable. So it's just really, really, really important that people understand that people need to live their own life, and that, it's important to have healthy relationships, and stuff like that. So, you know, it's important to make sure that person's words is congruent with their actions and that they're being kind and respectable. It doesn't matter what age you are, you should be kind and respectable and caring to whoever. You know, I mean, I don't even like sex. You know what I mean? There's a lot of older women that have younger guys for sex. I'm asexual. I lack sexual attraction. I don't want sex with younger guys. If I liked sex, then I would like it with a younger guy because I'm not interested in older guys. But I mean, you know, like when I say younger guys, legal age, obviously, but I'm not interested in sex. If he's 25, yeah, exactly. If he's 25, he knows what he's doing. And you know what I mean? And it was his choice to be, you know, with me. Clearly, like I said at the postcard, when I read out the beginning, that he said, you know, like to my soulmate Sandra, I feel like my life started on that day when we made the video call. I love you so much. I wish we can be together one day. I adore you to the moon and back. Eternal love. You know, that was his words. And I don't, you know, I think unfortunately, he was in a toxic love way, unfortunately, in the end, you know. But, you know, that's his words. He's taken the time to write the postcard. He's put stamps on it. He's done that. Own free will. I'm not doing anything against someone's will, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, but he's 25 years old. Of course he knows what he's doing. You know, he's perfectly capable. I've got a friend, a best female friend who's heterosexual, and her other best friend is a sexual cougar. She's in her 60s and she has sex with guys in their 20s. She don't even she don't care what people think. She's open about it. You know, everyone knows that's what she's like, you know? And she's 60 and has sex with guys in their 20s. And guys, you know, like want to do that with her, you know? So, you know, it's people's free will, isn't it? And what people want to do in their life. It's got nothing to do with anyone else and no one else's business, you know? This was a video about not having abuse and that you need to make sure that the person is, you know, congruent in what they say and their words match their actions. And if they don't, then, you know, if they carry on saying stuff that's not nice, then you need to get out of that situation because it's not good for you. Doesn't mean to say that every single thing about that person is bad, just that they're not good for you and they've got some inner work to do to change themselves, become a better person. But you don't have to hang around them to do that. They need to go and do it themselves, right? No one's perfect, but some people have got some serious difficulties which need to have therapy and be worked on. You know, and then, you know, like people can improve, people can change, but it usually takes a long time. Again, as long as both adult parties are happy, who cares? Exactly, Sparky. Who cares? But it seems like some people do on this stream. They're like really, really like gunning for me. She's older. I can't stand the fact she's older. It's like ridiculous. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's clearly people got nothing better to do with their life. But like you say, like, who cares? It's other people's opinions. It doesn't matter. And, you know, if two people love each other or want to try a relationship, that's up to them. No one should accept abuse from anyone, regardless of what the age gap is. You know, there's lots of people who are younger that abuse older people. There's people who are older that abuse younger people. Abuse is not right from anyone, you know, and no one should have the right to do that, you know. Like this person, you know, who's 25, I did love him. I did care about him. And like his mum knows that I'm older than him. And his mum said that, you know, that she knows I love him truly and that I care for him. And you know, and she wanted me to help him to become a better person and for me to forgive him. And she was begging me to forgive him and get back with him, you know? But I can't do that because it's not fair on me. And he needs to understand that he can't behave like that towards any woman. And, you know, the best thing I can do for him is to let him go from my life. It's probably going to be hard for him, I'm sure. But at the end of the day, you know, you can't be with someone who's got serious issues that need to be dealt with and, you know, and who need therapy, right? And who need to do the inner work of changing themselves to become a better person and more caring and kind and and not be controlling and not be saying things that put people down, you know? Like, it's a shame because I see loads of potential with the person, you know, for being a better person. Everything about them is horrible. So yeah, it's just really, you know, important that, you know, that we you know, just love who we're with, you know. I'm getting some silly comments like pensioner age. I'm not famous pensioner age. It's ridiculous. And some pensioners do go out with young guys anyway. Not that I'm pensioner age. My parents are pensioner age. There's quite a big age gap between me and my parents. They had me later in life. You know, so I'm not pensioner age. Oh God, it's so funny. You know what I mean? And even if a pensioner decides they want a younger guy, that's up to them, innit? Good for them, I say. Get on there, granny. You know, there was a guy last night when I was out clubbing. There was a guy last night who I hated because he started stroking my hair and put your hand. I'm like, because I'm not into older guys. I'm like, no, but he must have been like 60s, probably, maybe older. And he was there dancing with, you know, he was there dancing either on his own or with whoever would dance with him. Because I don't get attracted to older guys, I didn't want to dance with him, you know, because he's stroking my hair and without my permission, he was stroking my hair, you know, which is not on. Again, you know, that's an invasion of personal space. You don't go doing something like that to someone without their consent, you know. But in clubs they do all sorts of things, you know. And you know, so yeah, it's, you know, doing that type of thing to someone, I didn't like it at all. So what the heck tonight? Let people enjoy their lives and stop tearing others down. Thank you, Sparky. You know, let people enjoy their lives and stop tearing others down. Exactly. You know, I have to keep reiterating, this mother of the guy I was dating wants me to be in a relationship with him. It's me who's choosing not to be, even though it's really difficult for me because I still love him. And it's hard. You know? She wants me to be with him. She begs me to get back with him. And I won't do it because she knows I'm good for him, because he did listen to me. And I actually thought at one point he was improving his life. I honestly did. And becoming a better person. When I was just friends with him, he used to listen to me and I thought he changed and stuff. But clearly there was too much issues and he needs a proper therapist rather than a girlfriend who can't provide everything he needs. You know, it's not up to me. It's not my responsibility to be a rescuer to him or to save him. It's up to him to help himself, you know. You know, so I don't know what you said I wasn't, Sparky, too. I don't know if they cut your message off, but yeah. But I'm glad that you said, you know, it's up to people to enjoy their lives and stop tearing others down. You know, I was glad that his mum saw I was a good influence on him and that I really truly loved him and cared about him, and I would have looked after him, you know, emotionally, and been there for him, you know. And it's sad. It's really difficult for me. It's not easy, you know, especially when he writes beautiful words like this to me, you know. It's really difficult for me, you know. It's hard for me to go from someone's life who mattered to me dearly, you know. And, you know, like, it's difficult because obviously I was his friend for like, you know, I knew him for 4.5 months and I was friends with him. I apologise, I pressed the wrong button, that's okay. You know, I was friends with him before for months, you know, so I've had to give up friendship and a dating relationship with this guy, which wasn't easy for me, you know. But at the end of the day, I deserve better, and I deserve better than people who are speaking to me in this chat. It's ridiculous. You know, I personally have no problem with me being with a younger guy. You know, I haven't found the right younger guy for me to be with yet, but that doesn't mean to say that I won't. You know, it's just very upsetting that I had to give someone up I loved and cared about, especially when his mum wants me to be with him. You know, she really does want me to be with him, but I can't be. You know, she really was begging me for like hours to be back with him to help her son, you know, because he's struggling without me, you know. So that's really hard, you know, as a human being. I find that difficult because I do care about people, I do care about him, but I have to stay away from him for my own good, you know. So, you know, he would have had a good life with me. He would have been happy, and he would have had the best friend for life, and he would have had someone who was loving and care about him. And it's like I do get some stick from some women because they're jealous of me, you know. They like got grown up kids and they're like, oh, it's wrong. I don't have any kids and I'm not a mother and never want to be. I don't ever want to mother a guy, but you know, he would have been fine and happy with me had he turned out to be good to me, because, you know, and had boundaries and standards, which he didn't do. And, you know, didn't put me down and didn't make horrible jokes at my expense and stuff like that. And the list could go on and on, you know. So it's really sad. You know, it's not easy. You know, he wanted to be with me. He'd still be with me now if I'd let him, but I can't. You know, because he's no good for me. He's absolutely no good for me. He's breaking you, sweetheart. That's not healthy. You're doing the right thing by staying away. Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. You know, I need to get on with my life and be happy and go and find my young guy, the right guy for me, you know. You know, but yes, exactly. May break my heart, but not broken me, because I will always stay strong, you know. At the moment, I'm not going on dating sites. I'm staying off them, you know, because I need to get over this scenario before I move on. And, you know, it's not good for me to get into another dating or relationship scenario. So, you know, I just go out, have fun, socialise, and take care of me and my career and stuff. And asexuals, obviously, I always love asexuals. I always look after my asexual friends and stuff. So, you know, and I will be staying away from him, you know, for my own good. You know, so it's really, really important that safety, you know, you look after your own safety, and that you leave a relationship or dating scenario that's no good for you, you know. Even if it's tough, you have to do it. It isn't easy, but you gotta do it, you know. You gotta do it. So a relationship is a partnership you build, and so a relationship is I don't care about crying in front of a live audience. Someone's having a go at me. I don't care about crying in front of a live audience. I'm my true authentic self. A relationship is a partnership you build each other up, not tear each other down. Exactly. So someone now, another person, I keep getting so many trolls tonight, you know, another person's come on and going, oh, you won't be crying, right? I'm the true authentic self. I don't mind crying in front of people because I've got nothing to hide, and I'm not a person who hides my emotions, you know. I'm just true authentic me, and people don't like that because they can't be their true authentic self. But exactly, people build people up in a relationship, not tear people down. I've had loads of people come in my stream tonight trying to tear me down, but it's not going to work. because I'm super strong, even if I cry. Because some people think crying's weak, but I don't see crying as a weakness at all. I see crying as a really good thing and a way of purging the soul and a way of moving on. Crying is a way of not suppressing emotions. So actually, unhealthy people suppress emotions, right? Unhealthy people suppress emotions and they keep them locked up inside them. And eventually, later on, they build up like a furnace and like a pressure cooker, and then they go to explode. And then it comes out as like violence or aggression later on, or like nastiness towards other people. So it's much better to like release the emotions as and when they happen in the moment. So I have no problem doing that. Other people do. They can't control, they can't express their emotions. They think they have to keep them controlled, as in keep them down within them and stuff like that. But they don't need to do that at all. You just release, let it go, and then it's gone, isn't it? It's part of the grieving process when you have to give up or lose or be apart from someone you love. But like you said, Sparky, a relationship is a partnership. You build each other up, not tear each other down. It is that partnership. It's also a team. Also, a relationship is a team, no matter what the age, shape, or size of the people are, background, class, whatever. It's always a team and a partnership, and people should be working together to make the best, make it the best possible relationship ever. And and they should be literally, like you said, it's very good, Sparky, because in a healthy relationship, people build each other up, and they would be saying, they'd be saying nice stuff about the person's looks. They'd be respectful of their boundaries. They'd want to know what their boundaries are and their standards are, and they'd want to know because they'd want to work with them in order to foster a loving, healthy, happy situation. They also, wouldn't put the other person out. They wouldn't threaten to leave them, because obviously if you threaten to leave someone, it's a form of control. For no apparent reason. Obviously, if someone's done something wrong, it's like saying, well, I'm going to leave if this behavior carries on. That's different. But just threatening to leave someone who's helping you, especially, is just really wrong. But like, I've left them now, so it's okay, isn't it? They've got their wish, but that's not what they really wished for. It's called crying wolf, so you just it's a test. Some people do tests like that, but it's a dangerous test to do. You shouldn't test people and threaten to leave people. If you want to actually leave someone, fair enough, but otherwise don't do it. But yeah, you have the right to choose who you want to be with in your life, choose what age person you want to be with, choose whatever type of person you want to be with. You have the right to have your boundaries and standards respected, no matter what age you are. Have the right to be free to live your own life. If you threaten to leave, I always say there's the door. Life's too short for the test. Yeah, exactly, Sparky. Well, that's what happened. That's what happened with him. That's how come I left his life, because he said to me, he threatened to unfriend me and thought it was funny, sent loads of haters, like 3 rows of them, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm like, why would you unfriend me? I'm like, okay then, like, let's end it now. And he didn't expect me to do that, and so I ended it there and then. Well, on Facebook. Then he came over to Skype, and I actually said to him, I'm blocking him and I'm going from his life, and I wish him all the best, and thanks for any good times, basically. Thanks for the postcard in advance, So I didn't just actually cut him off without saying goodbye. I actually said goodbye to him, But exactly, if a person is going to threaten to leave, I'm going to be, like you said, there's a door then. I'd had enough, because like, he'd asked me to forgive him for other things of not being nice. Like, for example, telling me to slim down. In the end, he goes, oh, that's a joke, but clearly it wasn't. And he proceeded to show me fat people that he'd been attracted to. I said to him, I'd never speak about a woman or anyone like that. I don't speak about people like that. I say voluptuous or curvy or, maybe even larger, but not like, I don't use that word fat. I think it's a really put down word. which is not nice, you know. So, and I told him, anyway, I'm gorgeous the way I am, but you know what I mean? That sounds like a crazy novel. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, but yes, so in the end, that's exactly what happened. He threatened to leave, and so I was like, okay, let's end it now. I was like, I'm not going to stick around for someone to threaten to leave and laugh about it. Clearly, that person's not serious about me, and it's all a joke to them. From the evidence his mum showed me, it wasn't a joke, and he definitely did love me and regrets it, what he did, and wishes he could be back with me. But at the end of the day, you know, it's too late now, and I don't trust him. So, you know, that's the way it is. I said to his mum, she says, don't you love him still? I said, yeah, but without love, there is no, you know, without trust, there is no relationship, even if you still love the person. You can't be in a relationship with someone who you can't trust. You know what I mean? So I'm actually quite shocked his mum was saying as much as she did, but you know, I wish them both well. I hope she helps him get the therapy he needs, and I hope he gets the therapy he needs, and I hope he changes and then gets a nice girl for him and treats her really well, you know, and then be happy in his life. That's crazy about threatening to leave. Why would you do that? Exactly, Sparky. Thank you for saying that. So that sounds crazy about threatening to leave. Why would you do that? That's exactly what I said to him. I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you threaten to unfriend me? Exactly. Exactly. Why would you do that? If you love someone, you're serious about them, and you want to be in a forever relationship with them. Like, he was the one who said to people I was his girlfriend. Even before I actually agreed to it, I actually said to him, I can't be in an official full relationship with you unless and until you can get over to the UK. Because I just can't do it. I can't have an online only relationship. But it was breaking my heart and his, because I'm like, I really wanted to be with him because I thought he was good. I thought we were like maybe soulmates or best friends, you know, before. So yeah, exactly. Why would someone do that? If someone really loves you, really serious about you, really wants a relationship with you, then threatens to leave you just like that, that's not someone who's serious about you. That's someone who's just playing with your emotions and laughing at your expense. And that's the reason I literally left his life and blocked him. Because of the put downs as well, the belittlement, and him saying, oh sorry, or asking forgiveness about those things. But you know, and then saying about my boundaries and standards he thought was so strict. And there was a number of things that we're so different on. Like when we're discussing things, it's like he wants to go possibly traveling on cruise ships, which is fine, but I don't want to be in a relationship with a guy like that and wait 3 years for him to possibly come to the UK or not. It's not the way I want to live my life. So I have no problem with people who want to do that. Go ahead and do it, but I don't want to be a part of that. Same as I don't want an online relationship for 4 years where he might go to Canada. Do you know what I mean? I've got my own life. I've got opportunities here. There's going to be guys coming to my city, including younger foreign guys. And, you know, like, you know what I mean? And, you know, I'd rather be single and be free to kiss who I want to kiss and be with who I want to kiss and have my own single life than tied down to a guy who may or may not come to the UK and have an online relationship. You know what I mean? I'm not into that. It's not my thing. You know, I really need a guy in the UK because I'm just like sick of guys from abroad wanting an online relationship with me. It's like I can't have an online relationship. It's just, of course, when you're on, if you have like don't live together, you're still gonna have some sort of online relationship. But I don't want the scenario that guys in another country. But yes, exactly, Sparky. Why would you do that? If you are so into a person, you love them so much, just like he said in this postcard, if that's really the way you feel about them, why would it even enter your head to threaten to leave them? Why would you do that? You wouldn't. And if you really have that in your head, then why don't you just leave? Don't even make it a joke. You know what I mean? But I just think it's disgusting. I just think it's emotional manipulation when someone's trying to do that. It's like threatening to leave them. It's a form of control and a test. And it's like if someone's laughing, you know, at another person's expense like that, it's disgusting. You know, that's why it's cruel, it's disgusting, it's horrible, it's not nice. And how anyone can say they love someone and then threaten to do that. And that's when he proceeded, after I blocked him, to try and get back in my groups, message lots of my friends, tell one of my friends, fuck you, you ugly cow. You know, what person does that? It's just nasty, you know. And he's been trying to stalk me on, you know, send me loads of messages and stuff like that. And then, like, lately, you know, the day before last, his mum was getting involved, you know. It's like, you know, wanting me to help her son to be a better person. What exactly? You know, it's just crazy. It's just been absolutely crazy. So his mum wanted me to. Oh, I'm gonna have to. I injured my foot a little bit when I was dancing. You know, so his mum wants me to be in a relationship with him. His mum wants me to help him improve his mental health. His mum wants me to be back with him and talk to him and everything. You know, so but I can't do that. I respect the fact she cares about her son's worry about his mental health and the fact that he's finding it difficult not to be with me and talk to me and see me. And, you know, and he's trapped me really badly. And my friends, you know. So, you know, clearly the guy needs to get some help. And there's, you know, some people do need help in their life. I mean, you know, as you know, I've seen a therapist for trauma recently. I'm seeing someone, you know. And this obviously me having to deal with the fact of this breakup, whatever type of breakup it was, a dating scenario in his case, a relationship scenario, then, you know, that's more trauma because it's not easy dealing with difficult emotions when you care about someone. But obviously I love myself more. I love myself enough to walk away and to stay away. And I can't be with that person ever again because I don't go back to exes, and especially don't go back to exes that have done things wrong like that to me. So, you know, I have to hope he changes because I'm worried about other women getting with him, to be quite honest. I hope he doesn't get with another girl and do the same stuff that he did to me, to her, you know? So I just hope he changes for the better, you know, but I can't be the one to help him to change. He needs to help himself, you know? You can't, you know, you can't make someone change. If I went back, so just in theory, I'm not going to do it obviously, but say I went back and started talking to him, what would happen? He'd just be like, okay, so I can cry, I can be really miserable, I can say sorry, and Sandra will just get back to me, you know, just get back with me. It's like control, you know, and it's like he'll be able to do what he likes because he'll think, oh, she can't live without me, and that's not true. I can live without him very well. You know, I was very anxiety induced when I was talking to him because I told him I didn't trust him, and he knew that. I kept saying I'm really anxiety induced, you know, like I have relationship anxiety. As I said, but I have, you know, I kept trying to say he needs to help me with that, you know, if we're to carry on. But I guess my anxiety is right because of the trust issue, and obviously if you're stalking someone and creating fake profiles, so he created a fake Indian profile on Facebook, he created fake Twitter accounts as well. So if you're doing that type of thing, then obviously you're being dishonest. You're telling lies. You're telling untruths. You're being a made up thing, you know, and that's not good. That's really dishonest, and it proves that I had the right not to trust him in the first place, you know, and I shouldn't have trusted him. But you know, it's just the way it is. It's sad, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that I found out when I did, and that it's not a scenario where I've been in a relationship with him a year or 2 years, and I'll find this type of stuff out, you know? Because if he's like this from a distance, just think what he would have been like if I'd have been with him in person. It could have been very abusive in the controlling sense and laughing at my expense sense. You know, I don't want to be with a guy like that. You know, I'm not, because I care and because I can see goodness in people. I'm not saying there was no good in him because I can always see even people who are not great, I can still see good things about them, which is probably, I don't know if that's a good thing about me or a bad thing, but probably a bit of both, but you know what I mean? But overall, if the person is not good in those ways, you know, it's not good. And like you say, Sparky, exactly, a relationship is supposed to be a team effort. And the person should be like your bestest friend, and you should be able to talk about anything and everything, and you should be able to like talk about difficulties. You should be able to feel safe in the relationship or dating scenario. I didn't feel safe. How can you be safe with someone in the end who threatens to leave you? For like, when I was trying to help him legitimately come to the UK as well, it's like, I've done all that work for you, like an hour's work or whatever. You haven't have to lift a finger. I've got you all the links and stuff. You've just got to read through it, and you know it's very important that he gets the help he needs. Oh, so I'm having another troll now saying I need to get therapy with my session with younger guys. Well, clearly I'm not obsessed with younger guys if I was in a relationship with a guy who was only a year older than me years ago. Older than me, not younger. And in 2017, I dated a guy who was older than me as well, even though it felt really weird and I wasn't, it wasn't, right relationship for me. So clearly I'm not obsessed, and people like to put obsessions down to things that people just like, it's my preference to be with a guy because that's my attraction is for younger guys, and I would say there's a lot of obsession in this chat tonight with fake profiles being created multiple times just to tell me and be nasty to me about my birth certificate age or about the fact I like younger guys, someone's really got an obsession. If you want to talk about obsession and therapy, I think the people in this chat who are being nasty to me should get some therapy. Your partner should be your number one. And why are people judging? It's not their life. Exactly. Why are people judging? I mean, what does it matter to them? What age group I date or in a relationship with? What difference does it make in their life? It doesn't make no difference in their life. It's got nothing to do with them. They don't even need to be on my channel. So yeah. And your partner should be your number one in your life. They should be your best friend and you should be able to talk to them about anything, everything. I mean, with this guy, we got our friendship so good at one point that I felt I could like easily flow in conversation backwards and forwards. So I thought that was a really good thing. But, it is a good thing. But obviously, if a conversation's not good, in some ways, and this person's putting you down and stuff, then it's not good, But in terms of like actually being able to talk backwards and forwards like this, for long periods of time, that was a good thing. So, but yeah, I just like, people have got nothing better to do with their time clearly tonight, and they're obsessed with me. Get her. It's Sandra. We've got to get her. She likes younger guys. Get her, people. Get her. Let's all bully her and gang up against her on her channel. That'll really help, won't it? It's ridiculous. I'm not going to give in to bullies on my channel. Thanks very much. It's just like abusive bullies. And so, I'm getting, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly, Sparky. Exactly. It's just crazy, the people in chat tonight. It's like they must be so busy frantically creating profiles. It's like, quick, let's create another profile. Quick, let's create another profile. Quick, let's create another profile. I think the only one who's obsessed is the people doing that with me. Like, get her, get her. Oh my God. Seriously, they've got some issues. So I'm happy I like younger guys. Thank you very much. I'm not gonna change my mind or feeling because I am me. I would never ever go around telling people who they can and cannot be in a relationship with. It's entirely up to the person who they want to be with, and like you say, like, why does it affect their life? What does it matter to them? The only people I've ever got that have been like that are usually women that's jealous. They've got like grown up children and they could never get a younger guy for a relationship, or they probably wouldn't even like ever be in that realm, and they're like, oh my God, she can't do like she can't get the guy. It's like, yeah, I can get a guy even though I'm not a skinny girl. I can get lots of younger guys love older women. On Facebook dating, there's so many but like they want secret relationships, secret sex relationships with older women, and I'm not up for that. I don't do secret relationships, you know. So if I'm having a relationship with a guy, like, you know, like, I'm not gonna keep him secret even though he's younger, just because of what people think or say, you know. Like, I mean, I'm glad this guy was strong enough to say he loved me even though he was 25, you know. And you know, but things just didn't work out, and because of obviously everything I've said. So, you know, but I do wish him the best. I really hope he gets the help he needs, and I hope that he finds true love in the future when he's learned how to treat women with respect and properly and be a better person for a girl, you know. We all have the power to change, and I hope that people who are deciding to bully me on this channel tonight and are obsessed over me liking younger guys, I hope they get some help, because clearly they're the ones that have got the problem with me liking younger guys, not me. I don't have any problem with it. I really like the fact I like younger guys. I'm proud of the fact I like guys in their 20s. And, you know, I look forward one day to having a successful relationship with a younger guy, you know, and just being with a guy. But no relationship's guaranteed of success, whatever age you are. And whether it's successful or not, you know, just be yourself and live your own life, you know. But, you know, like you said, Spark, in terms of relationship, it should be about team effort. You should feel that that person's your best friend, that they're equally invested in you. I mean, at the time, I thought me and him were equally invested in each other because we both like messaging each other just as much and spending time with each other. So I thought that was a good thing in terms of time investment. You know, so that was one of the nicer parts. So, you know, but yeah. So, but like you said, like, why would you threaten to unfriend someone if you love them? You wouldn't dream of doing that to someone, you know? You'd want to be the opposite. You'd want to be saying, how can I make your life better with me? How can I accommodate you? How can we work through together, you know, on a relationship together? How can we build a future together? How can we grow together? How can we, you know, like, how can we literally see the future together, and how can we map that out, you know? It's really, really important, you know, that you kind of have a equally compatible goal vision, you know, visions for what you want your future life to be together, what you want it to be like. You know, like I said with this guy, I mean, you know, like, he was talking about cruise ships and stuff, which is fine, but I'm like, I don't want to be hanging around for a guy who's don't do that, and go and do that. Maybe it'll do him some good, you know? And hopefully he'll get a better life because he does that. But you know, that's not something I want. I don't want a guy who's doing that. It's not suitable for me, you know? I want a guy in the UK, or who can physically move to the UK and spend time with me and in person date me, and you know, for us to go out together and hang out together and be in a relationship together and love each other, you know, and be best as friends, and you know, just be good together, you know. Like, no relationship's perfect, but you know, if you can get it close to as perfect as you can, as good as you can in a healthy way, then you know, it's all the better, isn't it? But if a person's words don't match their actions, like if a person says they love you and they can't live without you with their words, and then they're threatening to leave you, seriously, something's wrong, isn't it? You know? And laughing about it, seriously, that is not congruency. And it means the person's not telling the truth. And they're not being completely honest. And they, you know, they're using it as probably a control thing, you know. I don't know what they're doing, but I got out of that situation very quickly because it's toxic for me, you know. I will not have someone laughing at my expense and trying to unfriend me when they say they love me and can't live without me. It's just rubbish, you know. I won't have that from any guy, so I was off, you know. And I feel better, like I'm not anxiety induced anymore. So I've got like a lot of relief that way. I'm going out clubbing again, which is great. You know, focusing on other stuff now, in my life. And so I think it's been good. I think it's difficult for me still, but I think, it's really good what I did for both me and for him. I don't think he's going to learn the lesson unless I fully left his life and be better and prove himself for the future girl. And I can't stay in toxicity like that. It's no good for me. And I need to go for my own self-worth and self-love and self-respect, And like I said before in the video, I wish him the best. And I hope he changes and gets the life of his dreams and becomes happier and with his life, and I hope he changes to be a good person for a future love. Perfection is in the eye of the beholder as long as you are happy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, no one's perfect. People do make mistakes, but I mean, if a person is consistently kind of saying stuff, like belittling and putting down and, like you said, threatening to leave. I mean, that's just, there's no need. Why would you even do that? It wouldn't enter your head if you really love someone. And then he said it was a joke afterwards. I'm like, I don't find that funny, and it's not a joke. Why would you even threaten that as a joke if you love someone? And if someone's joking like that, then they are being too immature anyway. So and not good. But I totally agree with you, Sparky. It's really important to have in a healthy relationship teamwork and working together. And both people aren't perfect. I found it hard to trust him, but actually that distrust was founded. And he must have another profile as well, because on my Facebook I found out he can see my public posts after I blocked him. So I don't know what other fake profile he's using to see my public posts. So at the moment, I've put all my posts are jokes are funny. That is bonkers. Well, yeah, exactly. It's not funny to threaten to leave someone and unfriend them when you say you love them. It's really not. It's not much fun at all. It's horrible, really cruel, very cruel. And that type of behaviour would not get any better. It would just carry on. So I've done the best thing by leaving his life, the best thing for me and for him. That's actually the best, most loving thing I can do for myself and for him, is to leave the scenario, leave the situation, leave that relationship. Or, well, to me it was dating rather than a relationship, but to him it's probably a relationship. It was like a relationship because we were acting like we're in a relationship a lot of the time. So, but I prefer to refer to it as a dating scenario because I said that's what it was. I said he could put in a relationship if he wants on his profile, but not say it's actually with me, because he wanted to put he was in a relationship with me on his profile. But I said until he can come over to UK, and I need to trust him as well, But my distrust was founded, So like I said, he must have another fake profile somewhere, because, or unless one of the ones that I found out about was it, because I've seen proof that he can see my public posts on my Facebook profile, but my Facebook profile now at the moment is just friends only, so he can only see past public posts. Let him work on himself. It sounds like he needs it. Exactly, Sparky. You can't, he needs to work on himself, exactly, Like, if any person's watching this and they're in a scenario, like, don't think you can fix a person, don't think you can rescue the person. It's not up to you to fix or rescue the person. It's up to them to work through their own issues on their own. Because if they just think you're going to be there for them anyway, they're not going to have any incentive to change. So the only way they can be truly incentivized to change is by cutting contact with them. And unless and until they've completely changed, should you ever entertain the idea of actually getting back with them? Personally, I don't get back with exes. I have in the past, and it's been horrendous. But that's why I don't do that. But if a person, like, there are people I've known who have got back in relationships years later with a person who's actually changed. There was one woman, and she had a kid, and she was married. I think she's married, or she had this guy. I think she was married. But anyway, she was with this guy and they had a son together, but he had an affair. And I was quite shocked years later when she told me that she'd actually met, he basically years later, they got remarried. And they've been together forever as far as I know now, but I haven't spoke to her for some time. So, and that's the dad's father, but she said that she forgave him for the affair and that he was immature at the time and that he'd grown a lot and he changed a lot and, she felt it was the right thing to do and could trust him again. I don't think that happens very often, but you know what I mean? But there are people that sometimes get back with people years later. But, you're probably talking 3 or 4 years later when the person's gone off and completely change themselves and their life as much as possible and then come back to be, to be a better person, and they truly have made fundamental changes in their life and done the inner work it takes to actually change and make a difference, so, but I don't think I could ever trust that person ever again. Just like, like when they've done stuff like that to you, you can't really trust them again. And once trust is broken, that's it, It's like I was thinking yesterday now, there's an Indian guy who's back on my friends list on Facebook. He friend requested me. He's in his 20s, by the way. He friend requested me, even though I deleted him off my list. He friend requested me again. And so I accepted him. He's like, oh, I did like your post. I told you that. But lately he started to talk about more romantic stuff with me. But I said to him that I have some romantic trust broken with you because you arranged a date with me before and you cancelled in favour of being with your mates, basically. So he was sorry, but, so basically I've given him another opportunity. But I was thinking today, really, you shouldn't have even done that. But he's got one opportunity anyway, and that's it then. You know what I mean? But, because at the end of the day, if a person, some people can make mistakes and change, but like in the case scenario where he put his mates before me, I thought I was disgusting. So yeah, he has said he's sorry, but I mean, but like yesterday, so I'd like to get to know you more, and I'm like, how do you propose to do that? It's like, oh, through text messaging and video date, and he said he was going to arrange a video date next week, so I'll see what happens. But I mean, he hasn't messaged me today. I'm thinking if you're really interested in getting to know someone, you'd be messaging someone more. So usually, once the kind of trust is broken in that bit, it's really hard to get it back. So really, I'd be better like waiting for another guy to come along who is much more my type of guy, like an Indian guy, but one who doesn't chop and change his mind or do things like that, Also, that guy he's not asexual and doesn't know if he could be in a long-term asexual relationship, but he's interested in meeting up with me in person or video chatting date-wise with me. So I said that's up to him. I'm letting him lead it. I said, it's up to you. So and I do like, even though I'm very like much more like a modern day girl, I do like the guy to do the leading on instigating messages and video dates and stuff like that. Like I need a really strong guy for me, a young strong guy, who can do that, And so if he doesn't do what he says that he's gonna do, then I'll just like be definitely huge no. But to be honest, like even the fact he's once like put his mates before me and like cancelled on me, and because he wants to do stuff with his mates, even that one time, it's broke my trust somewhat. So I don't know if that can ever be fixed, but I'd be better off waiting till another guy comes along who can treat me better, The guy last night when I was clubbing, he was British and 35 actually, who I was dancing with. I think he was interested in me romantically, but he's a smoker and I can't be with a smoker, and I told him that outright, He's also a single dad and don't want to be a mother, but he was all right to dance to. He was a lot more respectable than a lot of guys. And he walked me most of the way home and stuff. So, but yeah, so But it was nice that he kept saying I was a great dancer and that he couldn't dance with me anymore because I was too good to dance for him, but he'd stand there and watch me instead, which I thought was really sweet. I got a lot of compliments on my dancing last night. It felt so good to be single and to be free, to be able to do what I want and club with all the people there. A lot of the people in the club were in their 20s, but there's still some older people as well. And the one bloke that looked, he was about 60. But yeah, so I had a really nice time, and I it's had to end with the guy I was dating, and it's sad, but it's better for me and him to go our separate ways, and him to get the help and support he needs. I'm not sure if he'll get it, but I hope he does, and so I think it's really important that people understand that healthy relationships, like Sparky said, is building each other up and fostering positive emotions within each other and having boundaries and standards both within the relationship and with other people. Like, I couldn't be in a relationship with a guy who's just like randomly adding people to his Facebook and stuff, like with like people he doesn't really know with no reason for it, but personal reasons, as in, you know what I mean? It's kind of a bit weird. Like, I would expect someone to add people, like, if they meet them in work and stuff like that sometimes, but not if they're customers. I've I've been in retail for years, and it was, you if you involved, if like in my last job, it was actually in my contract not to give personal details, like your social media details, out to customers. And it's a big no-no. You could get sacked for it. um, so I'd rather be with a guy, and I told him this. I'd rather be with a guy that's choosy about his friends. That selective. And but again, I want a different type of guy to him. So it's better that we go our separate ways so he can get the future love of his life after he's helped himself to become a better person, and I can be free to heal and to get the relationship of my dreams in the future. I do wish him all the best. It's hard, but it's necessary, because like you said, like, how can someone who loves and cares about you threaten to leave you and joke about it, like laugh at my expense? You just can't. It's not love, that's just control, test, and basically you don't care about a person if you can do that like that. You just don't care about them enough, and I'm glad that I have blocked and that I can move on with my life. It's important to do that. It's important to, like I say, always check the words and actions. Like, if the person saying they love you then threaten to unfriend you and laughing, it's not congruent, is it? So clearly they're not being honest, which is just really weird that they keep wanting me back now. It's like, well, you're the one who wanted to threaten to leave me. If you didn't mean it, don't say it, it's like as soon as someone doesn't want me, or it acts like they don't want me at all, I'll be out of there like a shot. Now, I won't stay where I'm not wanted. It's just ridiculous. Life is about love and happiness and about fostering positive emotions within each other in a relationship and growing together and caring about that person for who they are. And, really important to work towards the future. I know quite a lot of people who are, start dating and they haven't really got any goals together. They haven't got any really shared ambitions and dreams, and they're going in separate directions. And you can't have a healthy relationship if you're going in separate directions, because you'll just tear each other apart. And so it's really important that when you get into a relationship, to see if you want the same similar sort of stuff in terms of like like sex, marriage, kids, living together or not, as the case might be. And also, like in your likes, dislikes, in the fact that do you both want to settle down in the same area, in the same place, same country? Does one want to go backpacking around Australia and the other person like want to just be in a fixed place? All this type of stuff, Clearly, I think me and him want very different things in the end, in some ways as well. So, I want a guy in the UK who's going to be here with me in person. I'm an affectionate person, so I need in-person kissing and cuddling and holding hands, whereas he's not bothered like I am about that, So, I think it's important to both be as happy as you possibly can be by going in the same direction naturally. He kept saying to me, "Oh, I'll try and fix myself, I'll change that," and I'm thinking, well, I even said to him, you're better off finding someone who wants that type of thing, but hey ho, this is the way it goes sometimes in life, and it didn't go the way I expected it to go, but I'm glad in a way, because he's not Indian, and so I still believe my asexual soulmate's Indian. My soul's Indian, it always will be. But it was interesting though. One thing I did learn is that, I can love someone who's not Indian. He was Tunisian. And, so there's a possibility that I could love and think another person's my soulmate who isn't Indian. But even when I was interested in him, I still said my soul will always be Indian, which it will be. But it was interesting for me to understand that I could think another type of person was a soulmate and love of my life, and just didn't work out and wasn't good for me in the end. But anyway, I'm gonna love you and leave you for now. I want to say thank you so much, Sparky, for being here. You've been an absolute joy. Thank you for all the comments you said tonight. I really appreciate your support. Really, definitely do. And to all the trolls that have trolled me tonight, I'm not going to change. I'm always going to like younger, foreign guys. I'm always going to be my true, authentic self. And I hope you find something better to do with your life than troll my channel and be rude and bullying and harassing me, and being obsessed with trying to change me. The fact you even want to change another person and are obsessed about trying to change me is really disturbing. So I hope you get some help for that. Right? I would never ever go to another person and try and tell them how to live their life and try and change them. That is control and manipulation and abusive. So anyway, I guess they've got a lot more viewers for my channel because apparently the algorithm works whether their comments are good or bad. So with all the bad comments tonight and the trolls, I guess they've just upped my channel even more, which will hopefully get me more eyeballs on my channel, which in turn will mean I'll probably get more younger foreign guys attracted to me. So yeah, because some more younger foreign guys will see my videos. So yeah, they've helped me a lot in that way. Thank you. But thank you, Sparky. I really appreciate all your kind comments, and especially about relationships, teamwork. It's not about pulling someone down and belittling them. It's about building each other up, supporting each other, and if you love someone, you'd never threaten to leave them. And if someone does, you just go from your life, go from their life. So I want to say thank you to Google moderator team tonight, who've been literally moderating my messages automatically for me. So obviously Google have found a lot of abuse in the messages that are being sent to me tonight. So I want to thank Google a lot. Thank you so much, Google, and YouTube, who are owned by the same, they're both the same company. You know, so actually Google is finding, you know, I didn't even do anything to the last message and Google just deleted it for me automatically. So I want to say thank you to Google for doing their job, you know, because we are on YouTube, we want to keep people free from abuse, bullying, harassment, you know, and these people that have been doing that to me tonight should really be ashamed of themselves. You know, I would never go and tell someone how to live their life and, you know, be nasty and horrible to them. You know, I don't know what gratification they get out of it. If they do, then, you know, that's quite sad. But I wish them the best in their life and hope they stop doing that to me. But like I said, Google's got my back anyway. They can tell what abuse is. And, you know, I've had enough of the control and manipulation and whatever that I've, you know, the emotional abuse type of stuff that I've just left, you know, basically saying I've got to slim down to be in a relationship with them, and, you know, don't be so strict with my boundaries and stuff, and, you know, laughing at my expense, threatening to leave me, all that type of stuff is just kind of like emotional upset, you know. So I'm done with that, and, you know, at least I'm in front of a camera, not hiding behind a computer, bullying, harassing, and doing stuff like the people who trolled my channel tonight. But like I said, they've just put the algorithm up even more, so they'll just get more eyeballs on asexuality, more eyeballs on my channel, more young foreign guys after me, much to their disgust. And you know, and yeah, you know, but Sparky, you've been an absolute pleasure to talk to tonight. Really appreciate your support. Thank you for being I know you've got an asexual girlfriend, so it's really nice. Appreciate you being here. And yeah, let's foster healthy, positive relationships, people. Let's build together a foundation of love and bestest friendship and soulmate relationship with the love of your life. Let's see how we can help that person to be a healthier, happier person, but they've got to help themselves, you know. If someone has you know, if someone's emotionally abusive or mentally abusive, or they're trying to say things that are not nice, then the best thing to do is for them to go off and get some help and come back if you want them back much years later, or otherwise, you know, just ideally I think move on in your life and let them get someone else, because if they change and then they build a relationship with someone else, that person's going to trust them, because they're not going to see all the past issues and distrust stuff with them. They're going to see the fresh new person. So that's going to be better for them to be with someone else and for me to move on and be with someone else who's better for me, you know. And yeah, just stay strong, people. And like Sparky says, it's none of anyone else's business how you live your life and who you choose to be with. It only matters. The only people that matter in the relationship are the people in the relationship or the dating scenario. No one else matters, you know. And so, you know, stay strong, people, and know that you can be whoever you want to be, love whoever you want to live, be with whoever you want to be with, you know, and just care about yourself, you know. And anyway, I'm going to love you, Evie, for now. Lots of love to you. Don't forget, actions and words need to match congruently over a consistent period of time. No one's perfect, but there should be a lot of consistency with lots of positive stuff. The relationship should make you feel happier, not worse and sad. If it does, something's wrong, get the hell out of there. Anyway, I love you, leave you. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video live stream. Don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. Take care. Lots of love. And thank you, Sparky, for being here. Take care of you. Bye.